Jemima Puddle Duck lived on a quiet farm, but she wasn't content. The farmer's wife wouldn't let her hatch her own eggs, which left Jemima feeling frustrated. She longed to raise her own ducklings. "I wish to hatch my own eggs," she quacked in annoyance, watching as her sister-in-law, Mrs. Rebecca Puddle Duck, was quite content to let others do the hatching. Mrs. Rebecca wasn't convinced Jemima could handle the job. "You don't have the patience," she said, "you'd let them go cold. It's for the best that the hen takes care of them." But Jemima wasn't going to back down. "I will hatch them myself," she insisted, determined to take matters into her own wings. Jemima's attempts to hide her eggs from the farmer's wife failed every time. The eggs were always found and carried off. Frustrated and desperate, she decided to leave the farm entirely and make a nest somewhere far away where no one could take her eggs. One fine spring afternoon, Jemima tied her shawl around her neck, put on her poke bonnet, and set off down the cart road that led over the hill. She was determined to find a quiet spot where she could lay and hatch her eggs in peace. After a while, Jemima reached the top of the hill and saw a thick wood in the distance. "That looks like a quiet and safe place," she thought to herself. With determination, she began running downhill, flapping her shawl as she went. Though Jemima wasn't used to flying, she gave a great leap into the air. After a few awkward flaps, she began to soar gracefully over the treetops, feeling free and confident. As she flew, she spotted a clearing in the middle of the wood. Jemima landed in the clearing rather heavily, wobbling as she hit the ground. She waddled around, searching for a suitable place to make her nest. A tree stump surrounded by tall foxgloves caught her eye, and she moved toward it. To her surprise, seated upon the stump was an elegantly dressed gentleman. He had black prick ears, sandy whiskers, and a long bushy tail. "Quack," said Jemima, tilting her head in confusion. "Madam, have you lost your way?" asked the gentleman. Jemima, thinking the gentleman was very civil, explained her predicament. "I'm looking for a quiet, dry place to lay my eggs," she told him. The gentleman, with a knowing smile, said, "Ah, indeed. I can help you. I have a woodshed filled with feathers. It's the perfect place for a nest." The gentleman led Jemima to a small, run-down house built from faggots and turf. Behind it was a shed made from old soap boxes. Inside, it was almost completely filled with soft, fluffy feathers. Jemima was amazed. She quickly made a nest and settled in. When Jemima left the shed, the gentleman was still sitting on a log, pretending to read his newspaper, but watching her closely. He was so polite, asking her to return the next day, promising to take care of her nest. "I love eggs and ducklings," he said with a gleam in his eye, "and I shall be proud to see your eggs in my shed." Every day, Jemima returned to the shed to lay her eggs. She laid 9 large, greenish-white eggs, and the gentleman admired them greatly. He would often turn them over and count them when Jemima wasn't around. She was so pleased with her progress that she told the gentleman she would begin sitting on the eggs the next day. "Before you start sitting, why don't we have a little dinner party?" the gentleman suggested. "Bring some herbs from the farm, sage, thyme, parsley, and a couple of onions, and I will prepare a savory omelette for us to enjoy." Jemima, in her innocence, thought this was a kind gesture and agreed.